Hey there, Kat Stanzik here with Action Incubator, and I'm here to talk to you about how to overcome the resistance in sales. Oh, so I am not the guru of sales, right? There's plenty of them out there. But what I do know is that when I was going through this process, when I wanted to increase my sales, when I wanted to just get some clients, right? There were some things I had to overcome, and it had to do with sales, right? And even now, like you can see, it's sales, right? Um, there are things that you can do, and there's three kind of shifts or hacks, ninja insights, whatever you want to call them, that really help you increase that conversion faster. And it has a lot less to do with you than you realize. And that's one of the biggest takeaways, actually, which is the first one. It's not about you. um, a lot of times people make sales about them, right? And like being like, I need to make sure I communicate this and that I follow this sales script. And, we all have sales scripts and they're all, six to one half dozen of another of the same thing, right? Which is create the connection, have a conversation, close a client, right? But you want to make sure that you're not focusing on you, right? And bringing your crud to the conversation. You don't want to be all up in your head and being like, this is what I have to do next. And then I have to say this. And then I have to ask this question. Mm-mm. No, it brings me to the second point, which is connect, right? When you have a real conversation, that's what, high ticket sales are about. It's someone who is creating an energetic exchange with you and saying, yes, I believe that you're the person that can help me, right? Again, you can help me, right? The person is in it for themselves, rightfully so, right? They're saying, I'm going to give you money so you can help me in my business, right? But you need to connect with them and not with some fluffy, like, fake connection starter points. You want to actually build rapport. And not only do you do that during the call, but you're supposed to be doing that before, right? Conversation, you sharing things like this, these trainings, getting in front of people, sharing your results, right? All of those are connection points. Those are those touch points that people tell you you need to have a certain number of before you get on a call. Now, on average, 6, 12, it doesn't matter, right? Once you have that person on the phone call, it's a connection point, right? And you really want to do, which is the third thing, is shut up. I had a client. She came to me. She had, multiple six-figure business. Things happened in life, as they do, and basically she wasn't able to earn an income for a little bit. And then she basically came back into the game and was like, everything has changed. I can't do what I was doing before because I had basically one client and they provided everything for me, right? They were kind of her cash cow, but she hadn't been doing things on the back end to nurture, to have, additional streams of revenue on top of that one primary client. So she comes in and she's so insecure about everything that she's doing that she's talking, just talking, talking during your entire sales conversation. And basically, the woman that she was talking to had shared that she was going through a divorce. And my client had brought up the divorce on 4 separate occasions during the sales call because it was something that she was familiar with, right? It was a connection point, but it wasn't a positive connection point. And she kept bringing it up because she didn't know what to say. She wanted to show the person that she was listening and she heard her. The problem is that she was doing that by talking instead of doing something that's much more strategic, which is mirroring, right? And when you mirror, think of it like a mirror. You don't say anything, you're just observing. You're taking in the person, right? What are they saying? What is their tonality? I think it's 3% of what we say is via language, right? So there's like 97% that what we communicate, which is through body language, through intonation, through, I don't know, whatever the other language capability, energy, right, exchanges and things like that. But because she was so focused on talking and following a certain process, she didn't take the whole person in. She didn't hear what the real problem was. Now, luckily, she had recorded that, sent it to me. I'd listened to it. I gave her the feedback of pretty much, I said, shut up. I said, stop talking. You need to do 10% of the talking. and 90% of the listening. And the talking is really just asking questions, asking some clarification components, right? Some clarification questions of what they said and mirroring back what they said. So someone talks to me about XYZ. Okay, so I hear you're really strapped for time. The person feels heard. People, when they feel heard, create a connection with you, which helps them feel that it's about them, which then helps translate into a higher close rate for you, right? That's your job, is to listen in on the conversation, right? Get out of your head, get out of it being about you, connect with your heart and make it about them and really listening in. And sometimes, here's a little extra tip. What I do when I'm just like, the kids are screaming and I've got to go do this and I wish I could multiply myself and divide myself and whatever it is I need to do to be in multiple places at once, I literally have to leave my house. And I have gone out into the front yard and taken sales calls there. And some of my best sales calls have actually been me being outside, connecting, kicking off my shoes, laying back in the Adirondack chair and just showing up and only wanting to add value, right? So if you're struggling or wanting to increase your sales conversions even more, take a look at those 3 tips, right? You want to make sure you're focusing on them, that you're connecting and getting to the point, right? You don't want to just fluff talk them because, there's a place and time for fluffers and it's not on your call. And then shut up, right? You have to talk just a little bit. You just have to clarify, validate, mirror back, and then offer an opportunity for them to work with you. All right? So if you're wanting a little bit more support with this, let me know. I'd love to talk to you and see how maybe you could ramp up those sales even faster and create more time and more money by not having to work so much in your business. All right, babes, I will check you out later. Bye.